Well, I'm doing a bit of work now on the Ford Model A Roadster 28, 29 model, and I've decided to run a separate fuel tank in behind the back seat and the trunk, and I've decided to cut the fuel tank out of the cowl. The tank I bought is a stainless steel marine tank. It's about 11 gallons, so similar size. So the plan is to cut the tank out, leaving the dashboard in place. You can see there it's already had a hole cut in it. So the issues I've got are this piece here that the wiring from the dash cluster runs through. The plan at this point is possibly to leave that in place. And then of course I've got the steering column mount, which will need some sort of bracing underneath. So I might cut initially around that and back over to there along the back. So we'll see what happens. I'll cut that out now initially and see what I'm left with. It'll take a bit of weight out and also give me some room in underneath the behind the dashboard to do some wiring and so forth and so on. So I'll start cutting that out now and see what we've got, and proceed on after the initial cut and see where I need to go with it. Right, we've got all that cut out there now. That worked out quite well. I'm going to leave that centrepiece to run the speedo cable and the wiring through. I'll have to make up some sort of a reinforcing bracket to reinforce the steering column back into there, and give it a sandblast and an etch prime, and it should all be pretty good. The next issue will be this area here. Now I'm going to run the original dash cluster, and I'm going to put a gauge here, a gauge here and a gauge here. Now the fuel gauge will go in the top. Obviously it's not going to be the original. But for the cluster I need to retain those two mounts, and I need to make that hole larger to take the 50mm gauge that I've got. So I'll ream that out with the die grinder, I guess, and then file it up, and that should look the part. But all in all, the whole thing's coming along quite well. Well, as I mentioned before, I was cutting the fuel tank out of the cowl on the 28, so I've done that now, and I've left that centrepiece in for the loom to go through. Put a little bracket on the back there. Also put a bracket in to hold the steering column, welded that back to the inside of the cowl. So I've got all that sandblasted and cleaned it up with the wire brush. So what I'm going to do now is give that a coat of high zinc paint, which should prevent any further deterioration of the metal inside there. But I've got it pretty clean, as you can see. There's the reinforcing plates I've put in behind the area where the bonnet or the radiator mounts go back to the firewall. They actually had a few cracks there, which I've patched up with the oxy, and I've put that plate in behind to strengthen that. So I'm going to give that a coat of that high zinc paint there now for the inside of that, and that'll be the finished product under there. They say you can't really paint over that high zinc stuff, so I'll just leave that in the dark grey or black, whatever I've got there to do it with. So I'll do that now, and we'll have the inside of that tank all complete. Well, we've got the grey zinc cowl gel undercoat, or paint actually, on there now, and that's all covered up nicely, plenty put down into the seams and what have you. So I'll call that a wrap now, and get on with prepping the outside for the paint.